Hello, we are back in the beautiful Lake District National Park today, heading out on another wild camp. As many of you will be able to recognise, I've started today's route in the Langdale Valley. It is absolutely stunning in the Lake District at the moment. If you live in the UK, you'll know we've had this unbelievable weather recently at the beginning of April. The sun has honestly shone every single day for the past 10 days, I reckon. Barely seen a cloud in the sky. It's been a bit windy, so there has been a bit of a chill. However, the past couple of days, the wind has dropped significantly. So I think we are going to be in for a real treat tonight. So today's plan, like I said, I've started in the Langdale Valley and I'm heading towards the band. I've just come off the main footpath a little bit because it is really busy today, with it being the Easter holidays, and this sunshine has brought everyone to the Lake District, it seems, this week. But my plan is to rejoin the main footpath, head up the band, which is this right here, and then we are going to go all the way up to Crinkle Crags, which you can see just there, and that is where we are going to spend the night. It is an awesome mountain. I absolutely love Crinkle Crags, and I've been wanting to camp up here for a long time now. So I thought with the weather, there isn't a better day to do it. We're going to try and find a pitch that is facing the west and hopefully get a stunning sunset. And then tomorrow morning, depending on how we feel, we might head over to Pike of Blisco just there and drop back down into the valley. Yeah, that's a rough plan. I am super gassed to be out. Been in work the past 3 days, staring at the hills on my drive in and drive back every day, and yeah, I'm just really gassed to get out and to bring you all along with me. So I think we've got about 4 to 5 kilometers heading up the band and over to Crinkle Crags, maybe a little bit longer. The footpaths are super busy down the valley because everyone's coming off the hills right now, and I can see another group coming towards me. So I'm going to keep the intro short and sweet, and we'll head up the band and then I'll have a proper catch up with you at Crinkle Crags and show you the views. We've got the drone, got loads of camera batteries, so hopefully we'll get lots of epic shots. And yeah, I'm just super gassed to be out in this weather. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I really do hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, we're on the final ascent to the top of the band now. Come all the way from the valley down there. Oh, great old slog up here. I haven't come up this way for about 5 years, and I forgot how long it takes. It is a proper slog. You can see over to the Langdale pikes there, so you've got Piker Stickle, Harrison Stickle and Pavey Ark over there. You can also see Thundercar Knots, which is where we did a camp a couple of months ago now, when it was really cold still. And that right there is Pike of Blisco, which is where we might potentially go in the morning on the way back down to the valley. It is just absolutely glorious, this sunshine. And we're getting towards 5:30, 6 o'clock now. And that beautiful golden hour is just beginning. Hopefully we should be up at Crinkle Crags in about half an hour. So we'll have a little bit of time to kill, take in the last of the evening sunshine, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be treated to a really good sunset. I've been going now for coming up to 2 hours from the car, nearly 5.5 kilometers, so it is a bit of a slog from the valley, but you are treated with stunning views all the way up. And we are just about to crest the top of the band footpath. That up there to my right is Bowfell. It'll only take about 15 minutes to get up to the summit from here if we're on Bowfell tonight, but Bowfell's a little bit more exposed and a lot craggier and rocky. I didn't mention in the intro, but the wind's going to be a bit funny tonight. It's currently coming from the east, and halfway through the night it's going to switch over and come from the west. So with Bowfell being a little bit more exposed, I thought if I go on Crinkle, I'm actually going to pitch up, hopefully with a bit of shelter from the evening wind coming from the east, and then just accept that in the night the wind is going to pick up a bit as it swings round from the west. That's the summit of Crinkle Crags just over there, and we have to now navigate through quite a technical section. It's basically a boulder field, so if you are coming up here, it's just something to bear in mind that this section at the top of the band between Bowfell and Crinkle Crags is pretty technical. Ho-ho. We've just been greeted with another epic view. We can now see the highest summit in the Lake District, Scafell Pike. So yeah, that's the top of the path right there, and I've taken a left, heading over to Crinkle Crags. So I'm going to put the camera down and do the final little ascent to Crinkle Crags now, and then we'll spend a little bit of time finding a good spot, and I'll catch up with you when I've made my decision. So we're at the summit of Crinkle Crags, just an epic 360-degree view. Right, we're gonna head over towards the west of the summit and try and find a spot. As you can see, very rocky and craggy around here, but I do know there are some potential pitch spots over here. So the further we head over to the western side of the summit, the more likely we're going to find a pitch with this epic view of Bowfell. You got Esk Pike here, great end there, and then that heads all the way up to Scafell Pike. Really is an epic view up here. So after wandering around Crinkle Crags about 3 or 4 times, I feel like I've done 3 or 4 laps, we've finally settled on this spot. You're really limited up here with pictures, and also I'm being a bit fussy because I really want that sunset view. We've come down onto the western side of Crinkle Crags, got this stunning view looking down towards the southern fells, and then I just take a 5-metre wander up here, got the whole of the Scafell range and Bowfell there as well. Epic. I'm gonna have a great view for my tea tonight, and also managed to find a really sheltered spot here, so I've got this nice crag sheltering me from the wind coming from the east. It's just gone 6:30 now. Sunset is in about an hour and a half, so I've got plenty of time to get the tent up. I am going to put it up soon because I'm way off the summit here. If anyone's coming over here now, it'll be because they're also wild camping, so I can definitely put the tent up pretty soon. And then we'll get some scran on because I'm so hungry again and I'm unbelievably thirsty. I just nearly drank a litre of water. I've had to carry up all my water with me today because it is bone dry everywhere, and I don't really fancy filtering stagnant tarn water that's probably been slowly drying up the past 2 weeks with all this dry weather we've had. You can see though the fells are just unbelievably dry at the moment. It feels like the middle of summer and it's just the beginning of April. It is supposed to snow on the tops in 5 days, so back to reality soon, but for now we're going to enjoy this unbelievable weather and sunshine. Right, I'm going to set the tent up and then we'll go for a little explore, catch the sunset, get some scran on and just enjoy our evening. So we are all set up, pitched up. Hopefully the drone footage came out okay and you just got some nice aerial shots. It is absolutely stunning right now. The sun will set in about half an hour properly, but look at that. Last light on Bowfell just now. The Scafell ranges casting shadows over Great End and Bowfell now. Temperature has really dropped now. My digits are pretty cold. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the moon is really bright right now, which isn't great news for the stars this evening. This is going to have to be the last time that I summit Crinkle Crags today because my legs are dead. Oh, it's so clear, you can see practically the whole of the Lake District. if we were to go right back up to the summit. On the southern side here, the view that we can see from the tent, I haven't really explored this area before, and I've still got 3 Wainwrights here to bag. I've never explored this southern area really. I can see all the way out to the coast. Just a little bit speechless really. When it's this still and there's no wind, I don't know what it is about the mountains, but they just, like, they're so overwhelming. You can really feel their presence. They just seem absolutely massive right now to me. When I've been at home the past few nights, the sky has just been an orange glow for almost an hour after sunset because it's just so clear. It's taken a long time. It doesn't properly go dark until after 9 really. This is the 3rd camp that I've done this year now, and I am absolutely loving them. I'm properly falling in love with Lake District wild camping, and I just want to do one every single week at the moment, and with this weather I've kind of been able to, so I feel super lucky, so grateful to be able to do this. I'm going to plonk the camera down and maybe do a little bit of a time lapse, but whilst that's happening I'm just going to enjoy the view and enjoy the sunset, because it's just, yeah, beautiful. And just like that, the sun is gone. What a stunning sunset that was. Wow. That was one of the best I think I've ever seen in the lakes. I usually get quite unlucky with sunsets, to be honest, but that one did not disappoint whatsoever. The temperature has really dropped now. It's very cold, so I'm going to head down to the tent and we'll get some food on to warm up, because yeah, it's really dropped the temperature. It's supposed to go down to nearly freezing tonight, so I think we will get a bit of ice and frost on the tent. Although it's been about 16-17 degrees in the day, it is still only the beginning of April and you really do feel it at night still. So yeah, we'll be getting the woolly hat and gloves on shortly. That was a really special sunset. I wandered down here a bit to get some photos of the tent, and then I just sat behind the camera and watched the sun just fall behind Scarfell Pike. It's not a bad way to spend your Wednesday evening. We're on a bit of a budget for tea tonight. In my last video you'll have seen I splashed the cash a little bit on some dehydrated meals that were very fancy. They cost me £15 in total, which is, it's pretty diabolical, to be honest, that it costs that much for camping meals. However, tonight I have gone a bit more budget. I'm having vegetable hot pot and I've got a pot noodle. I'll tell you what I have brought with me though that I don't think I've ever had before. I've bought some fig rolls, and I had one when I pitched the tent up. Wow, fig rolls are an absolute winner. I ended up eating 3 of them, if I'm totally honest with you guys. So let's be honest, I think there's only 5 left. They're not lasting a night, unfortunately. Oh wow, the tent just looks kind of awesome sat here right now. Now that it's sat here, we can actually see it with the Scarfell and Bowfell actually in the distance now that the sun's gone down. So Crinkle Crags is the 3rd Wainwright that I've camped on since moving to the Lake District. Only 211 to go. It's going to take a long time, but I kind of want to tick them all off. I know some will be a lot harder than others, but I'm really keen to try and give it a go over the next few years. I don't know what it's like camping on top of Scarfell. It might be a bivvy job because it is unbelievably rocky up there. I can't imagine there being too many pitches to put a tent down. If anyone's up there camping tonight, they're having a great time looking at that sunset right now. This is what I was saying earlier on. This orange glow, it'll be here for the next hour, maybe even a bit longer. Right, it's probably time for me to actually put the camera down, because I keep saying I'm going to go in my tent and start cooking, but I just can't get enough of this view. It's probably be the last little chat I'll have with you this evening. Like I said, I'm just going to cook some scran and do the usual. I've got a movie downloaded. We're on, what are we on tonight? I watched a really harrowing movie last time I did a wild camping it, and it kind of messed me up a bit and I didn't sleep very well after it. So I've gone for something a bit more light-hearted tonight. I've gone for the new Fast and Furious, and I know I'm probably going to be judged a little bit for that. I love my movies, but I kind of grew up watching some of the Fast and Furious movies, and I low-key kind of like them. So they're a bit nostalgic and they're really easy watch and full of action. So we're gonna watch that tonight, I think. And then yeah, I'll probably get an early night because early start tomorrow. We'll try, I'm not making any promises, but we'll try get up for sunrise. It's supposed to be at 6:30, so I reckon I can do that. If I set an alarm for 6, and then we'll quickly go up there, because I think we're just going to be blocked off by the sunrise, by this craggy bit here, because the sunset there, so I'm thinking it's going to be directly behind that. Actually, maybe if I wander out over to sort of the edge of this crag here, I might be able to see it over there. So that's what I'll do in the morning. I'll get out my tent, I'll run over here to warm up, see if we can get the sunrise here, probably get the drone up once again just to get some morning, just to get us some sunrise shots. I'm really excited to see the glow on Scarfell and Bowfell. They should be golden, they should light up, and yeah, it'll look completely different to what it's looked like this evening. So fingers crossed I can get out of bed in time. I will do. I'll make the promise now, so there's no going back. I can't lie to you guys. Right, okay, I'm actually going to put the camera down, I'm going to cook some scran, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. So I made it up for sunrise, as you'll hopefully have seen, and I was greeted with one of the most insane views I think I've ever seen in the Lake District. So I walked up to the summit of Crinkle Crags, looked down towards Langdale Valley, and the sun was rising perfectly behind it. It was Such a good sunrise. I was torn between looking at the sunrise and the cloud inversion. You can see my tent just situated there. Whole of the Scafell range and Bowfell now lit up. And then to the left, wow. I didn't think I'd be waking up above the clouds this morning. What a real treat the Lake District has put on for us this morning. That's what it looks like right now. Woohoo! That's insane. There isn't a breath of wind as well. When I woke up, it was kind of freaky how quiet it was. Around midnight when I went to sleep, wind was really picking up, and throughout the night I could hear it. When it got to about 5 AM, I think, just completely dropped. To hear a pin drop, it was that quiet, and again, I just got that feeling of like being so overwhelmed with that view and the mountains surrounding you and no wind whatsoever. Yeah, just an epic morning. Oh, that sunshine is incredible. Makes me want to go out for another mad day out and do another camp this evening, but unfortunately I've got work tomorrow. Otherwise, that is exactly what I'd be doing. It's definitely going to be a very warm day again today. So there isn't any moisture on my tent at all, which is good. So we'll pack that up. But first, I'm going to put my stove there and we're going to make a brew and just enjoy that view for another half an hour or so, and then we'll start to pack up because I don't want to leave that view just yet. So I'm all packed up and we're leaving. No trace as always. As you'll have seen, cloud has rolled back in again. When I was having my coffee, it had cleared up quite significantly. I could see all the fells beneath me. I could see down into some of the valleys. But in the space of about half an hour, whilst I was packing my bag up, it's all rolled back in again, and I've got an incredible cloud inversion again. So it's just gone 8 o'clock, which is good timing to be leaving. Pitch late, leave early. That's what I always try and stick by. And now we're going to just walk back up to the summit of Crinkle Crags. I'll show you the view from up there because we'll get an even better view of that cloud inversion from up there. And then I'm going to hike over towards Pike Oblisco. I'm not going to go all the way to the summit just because I'm a little bit pressed for time. There's a footpath that drops down just before Pike Oblisco back into the Langdale Valley. So we're going to take that one. Still going to be epic views along the way. You can see the Scarfells and Bowfell completely lit up with the morning sunshine now. It is going to be a toasty one today. I don't know if you can pick it on the camera, but there is a very faint Brocken spectre there, which are quite rare to see. I tell you, there's something about Crinkle Crags. It is my lucky mountain. If you've watched some of my recent videos, you might have watched the Bowfell and Crinkle Crags hike I did, where I had an incredible cloud inversion on that day as well. I just seem to get very lucky on this mountain, and it is soon becoming one of my favourite places in the lakes. I always say Great Gable is probably my favourite mountain, but Crinkle Crags is definitely close to Great Gable now, for me anyway. I really don't want to leave. I'd love to be heading over towards Bowfell and Scarfell for the day. Oh man, this is just an epic morning in the lakes. Wow. Woo. It does not get much better than this. So I'm leaving Crinkle Crags via this path which faces to the west. If you're coming off Crinkle Crags and heading towards Pike Oblisco direction, you're more than likely going to want to take this path, which skirts along the western edge of Crinkle Crags, rather than the southern side where the bad step is situated. It's a big drop. You can scramble up it. I did scramble up it on the previous Crinkle Crags video if you want to check it out on there, but I absolutely would not be going down that, especially with this big pack on my back. So we're taking this easier route. It's still quite technical and rocky, but it's a lot easier going than taking the bad step. And I will show you the bad step once I get round to it, but because it will come into view once we get to the bottom of this path. I just can't get over that view. But whilst I'm going down there, I need to keep my eyes on the path because I cannot get over that view. It's insane. It's probably about another 4 to 5 kilometres back to the Langdale Valley going this route. I will leave this route in the description if you fancy doing it, because it's a really nice route to do if you're wanting to bag Crinkle Crags and not bother with Bowfell and Pike Oblisco in the same route. So I will definitely leave the route down below. Looking ahead here, you can see a carpet of cloud. Wow, that is crazy. What a view. I'm going to quickly wander around here, which is where the bad step is situated, so you can see it. So that right there is the bad step, which is, and you scramble up this little bit here, which you really don't want to be coming down. There is a route which goes around the side here. I've done that before. That's a little bit easier going, but to be honest, if you're coming off Crinkle Crags and the Pike Oblisco direction, your safest bet is to come down that path that I've just come down on the western side of the slope. And we have got an incredible view of the Langdale Valley. Look at that. So my car is parked somewhere down here. Seems to be one of the only valleys that doesn't have a blanket of cloud in it at the moment. This right here is Pike Oblisco. So we are going to traverse along this ridge, go and then just go over this little lump here, and then our path takes us down this little valley, back down into the valley there. So for the next 2 kilometres or so, we're going to be treated to nothing but stunning views. Really good view of the bad step. So that's where the bad step is. You can see it's very steep. There's a big crag there as well. So caution should be taken when coming off Crinkle Crags in this direction. So I'm going to put the camera down and enjoy the last couple of kilometres on this ridge and enjoy the views. And I'll probably catch up with you now when I'm back down in the valley. What a morning. Woo! So I've made it back down into the Langdale Valley, and you can see where we were last night. That's Crinkle Crags right up there. So we've come all the way along this ridge and down a very steep footpath back into the valley. My quads got battered coming down there. It was a pretty long descent, but it was quite nice how short it was. So it's only just gone 10 o'clock, so got down here in pretty decent time really. It is really heating up. I feel very content right now. It's been an awesome couple of days. Briefly said yesterday, I think it's supposed to snow on the high tops on Monday, so it is going to go back to how it should be for this time of year, but what a great start to the year for some warmer weather. It really wouldn't surprise me if this was the best 2 weeks we'll get all year in the lakes. It's going to be hard to beat it, to be honest. But yeah, feeling very happy, also feeling very hungry, so I'm hoping as soon as I meet a Hev we can hit a cafe, because I could eat so much food right now. I've only had 2 cereal bars for breakfast this morning. I tend not to bring too much breakfast out with me on wild camps because I usually get down quite early. Also, try to limit the use of my stove on this trip. You might have seen in the news there's been some mega wildfires and moorland fires, especially in Scotland, and I know my stove is very safe to use, but all it takes is one little accident and yeah, it could cause a big issue. But I always try and light it in an area where there's little vegetation and surrounded by rocks, or even doing it on a big rock. It's pretty hard to do it on Crinkle Crags because the rocks are so jagged and pointy. There wasn't really any flat spots to do it. But yeah, if you are going to use your stove when the weather's like this and it's really dry, just be really careful when you use it. And obviously open fires are a massive no-no. Someone had a massive fire on Raven Crag and it ended up spreading last week, and there's no need to have an open fire, especially now we're into the warmer months, because yeah, it's going to cause issues and it leaves such a mess on the ground as well. But anyway, don't want to be too negative, but just thought it'd be worth saying, because we want to look after these beautiful hills and mountains and make sure that we can continue to use them. Such an epic view and an epic couple of days. I'm going to end the video here because I'm about to join the main footpath that heads over to the band, so it's going to be really busy. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been an epic wild camp. Again, I just want to say a massive thanks for all the support on the channel recently. It really does mean a lot, and all of the support and love, it really does motivate me to get out into the hills and film these videos for you. So yeah, really do appreciate it, and I hope you've all managed to enjoy this sunshine wherever that may be. Even if it's just in your back garden, it's been absolutely glorious. So I hope you've been able to get some of this sunshine yourselves. How lucky are we to have this in the UK? Unreal. Anyway, I'm actually going to put the camera down now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.